you know, it's interesting, but you know, the whole thing about that was a little weird. So,
Ricky.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you
Did
back?
somebody else say something?
No, that was, I think it was Songstress. Was it Songstress?
No, that was Sis Marie.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but yeah, I know, like, that was the thing, you know, and I was like, and actually I was telling, I think I called on one of these shows or something, I was talking about it, and I was like, you know, and I was talking about the rituals I did before, and it was just very weird the way that happened. At first I said, okay, is this somebody who, you know, may have mistaken me? But this is also weird. There was another Southern white woman that did this before, and it was like then around the same thing. And now I'm starting to think, this is it, when I put two and two together, could it be some kind of signal or sign or something that, you know, goes on? But when I called my friend, she was like, oh, yeah, you know, they do this to show ownership or try to steal energy, and it's around, and you said it was around the crown. So, you know, I got to be real careful about that. But I trust you, me, anytime that happens, you know, I'm ready to wash the sage, to get the sea salts right out.
But I'm telling you know what, I ain't trying to be funny, but see, I done dealt with so many white witches that,
yeah,
especially the old ones, when there's somebody that real old like that, and they white,
yeah,
basically
she looked like the Crypt Keeper.
Huh?
She looked kind of like the Crypt Keeper on crack, kind of. So.
And see, that's what I'm saying, when they old like that,
yeah,
I really,
yeah, and that's why I was like, I got back and,
because
you
they
know
more about you. And they've
yeah.
done all kind of rituals that you don't even know about,
yeah.
than you know about them. And it's just like that old white lady said that was on our show. They have been taught to undermine us, trick us, enslave us, try to keep us behind them and underneath them, so and not to be around us. So all of a sudden, some old white lady
comes
out
up,
of her whole old life that been taught not to fuck with you, all of a sudden she want to put her hands on you.
Yeah, and that's what was really, it was really weird. And I'm thinking, you know, and that's what I'm trying to separate, because like I said, I get the
now, I'm
weirdest
not talking about white people that go with us and sleep with us that ain't prejudiced. I'm talking about
friends,
the ones that you know if they see you, they going to look the other way. If you hungry, they are not going to feed you. I'm talking about prejudiced white people. All of a sudden, they want to touch you. And she didn't say, hey, let's hang out, let's have dinner, let me show you how to make money. She just wanted to touch you and keep moving.
This is the first time we were standing in line, because, you know, this is a voting thing, you know, and this is in Florida now because I'm here now, but came up to me and she was like, oh, because, you know, my hair's red too. Oh, yeah, your hair is cool, it doesn't match your thing. And then she touched, and I'm looking, and I go behind, and she was like, that is really nice, and you know, because I just had on red, because I'm like, that's just my energy color, you know. And I thought, okay, wait a minute, you know, and my thing was that, I was like, okay, is this one of those just the weird people that come up to me, or is this somebody really trying to steal my energy? Because, you know, that was a time where I was using all kinds of things to make sure clarity with the whole voting thing, with myself, you know, that I was putting it out there, because we know how shady everything is and corrupt with the government, and just making sure that things went clearly there, and that I was, you know, and it was just really weird. And her husband, it was kind of looked like he was, and it was weird. Now that I think about it, you know, he had this weird gaze. Almost,
did he look like her?
He looked like they were probably about maybe, well, you know, black don't crack, so I can tell. But when you know, you might look a lot older than what you.
He was black and she was white.
No. He was. Both of them were white, so you could be same age as somebody black and then look 10, 20 years older.
Yeah, like you said, unless you're practicing the jade egg and stuff.
Yeah, so they looked to be maybe around 70 or something, and it was just weird because, you know, when I talked to a friend, like, you got to be careful, don't forget, ownership, they try to do that, they might do good luck things, it might have been a ritual or something they did.
What, to bring you good luck?
No, bring them good luck, because he said, remember they used to take the energy of blacks or doing slavery, they would say you rub a nigga by his toe or whatever it is.
And sex, too. They would use us for sex.
Yeah, and so she was like, do that, but, you know, like, I know red is the power color, because we all know, like, even, what's the, Michelle Obama came popping out there looking like Black Widow. Yep. And so red is my thing. I'm Zilla Dantor, you know, that's why I named myself Red King Danto, after Zilla Dantor, who is the mother goddess protector of her children. You know, he'll have no fear like a mother's scorn, and if that is somebody behind you, backing you, you know, that's just one of the best that you can have. But red is it's always been my favorite color, and that and Shango and that kind of fire energy and the Sagittarius thing, I guess, is all coming together. But when that happens,
too?
Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh,
like
Lord.
3 days, yeah.
No wonder we get along. Sagittarius are usually pretty cool people unless you really piss them off or really hurt them, and then they don't fuck with you.
Oh, yeah, I can do some crazy now. But yeah, and that's what it was. And I'm thinking, you know, and when you really start to look really into it, because I've always been into mysteries, I've always been into certain things, but when you really start to look into things and see how people react, and you start to look, and it was almost like the husband was kind of gazing into the back of my head, almost like it was weird. You could feel him, because I could feel when people are looking, you know, at the back, and I turn around, he kind of turns his head, and I'm like, okay, I got to get him in the vote. So after that, because it was a little line, that's what happened.
You didn't shield when you felt that? Because it's like even when I'm in a line, I be noticing when I go to the grocery store and stuff, I had to be careful because a lot of times you don't know who's behind you, and if they're focusing on your crown or your energy, if they see any weak spots to tap energy out.
Yeah. Well, what I usually do to myself, I would say, you know, block this fit, you know, block this energy, block this spirit or something in my head, you know, like that. But I just, even before I went out, I made sure I put, which is, you know, that day especially, because I know down here, you know, I lit a candle, did all this, I saged myself, and I was like, you know, said a prayer of protection over myself going out there because, you know, and mind you, even in this area, you know, it's very few, the voting place, even in the community, it might be a little bit diverse, but where I was voting, you know, you have a lot of these angry, bitter white Southerners too that go versus, you know, so that was one of those things that that really, really, you know, kind of got me thinking, wow. And then when I really started to think of people who've done it, I'm like, and I was really trying to separate. I'm like, is this one of these people who just feel the need to come talk to me? Because, like I said, I could be sitting here, a homeless man will tell me his whole life story. I could sit in the mall, a lady feels the need to, let me talk to you and share something, which is cool with me. You know, it's interesting to me. So, but when it came to the point of that, I was trying to decide, is this somebody really trying to, and it just didn't feel right. So after that, I was like, yeah, it didn't sound right. And then, you know, I was like, shower, sea salt, everything from oil to everything I could think of to reverse anything that came, because, you know, it's amazing how many people out there actually do practice other things against you or use these as excuses to know that, yeah, and you get one of these people, you get some of these Southern black women, they could tell you the reason why, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, that are younger and stuff at our age, they may not necessarily know a lot about this, but see, I had a great-grandmother who was, when I lived in New York, she's from South Carolina, so she knew about the gullah and the get you ways and superstitions and everything that came with that, you know, even though she, you know, but she would say things, look in the mirror, you know, if they don't have a mirror in the room, question it, you know, little things like that, and I would start to go, wow, and, yeah, and so
what
reading
did she say about the mirror, that you have to watch it if somebody don't have no mirror in their house?
Oh, yeah, because she was saying, you know, they're a witch and they reflect their true spirit or something. It was one of those.
Oh, and they don't want you, that you could see them through the mirror?
Yeah, they don't want, she didn't have one in her bedroom. This was one of the girls, and this was just one of these superstitions, like, you know, the gullah, you know, the Geechee, some of them have a little bit of Christianity in it, but they also have their rituals and stuff or superstitions from Africa, West Africa, and, you know, the islands, the Sea Island people of South Carolina. So a lot of them, you sit back and talk, and they'll tell you this, or they'll, you know, I read this really good book, I think it's by Cornelia Walker Bailey, that talks about the rituals, not rituals, but just growing up as a gullah and the superstitions and stuff, and, you know, about how a lot of people would say, you know, if they throw a pail of water out in the moonlight, you know, spirits, because they really believe in ancestral spirits, you know, part of me before I throw this out, so any energies or spirits that are guarding their house will, you know, move out the way. And they're very in tune, even, you know, with a lot of the ancestors that just passed on, to go into graves, talking to them, pouring wine as libations and stuff. And it's not so much of a voodoo practice there as much as it is really talking with the ancestors, because really they don't. Most of these people, they do their church and everything, but they also have these rituals from Africa where they even have the little pendulums they make, and you see things over in even certain foods and stuff, leaving foods at the graves and during birthdays and stuff. But the Gullah and the Geechee, the Sea Islands, you know, Cephalo Island, St. Simon's, Jekyll, and you really go out and talk to some of these older people.
So if I go down there, will they just talk even though they don't know me?
Oh, my God. These people usually are really cool, especially like, you know, learning history and learning about